Folks, back in the game here. I just wanted to do a little bit of an overview, I guess, of the Whatnot Card Show 3 that what happened. I guess it was mid November. I realize this isn't super timely. I wanted to wait until I got all the packages of cards and things that I ordered from the show. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just a sort of a little quick overview of what I thought of the show, and then in subsequent videos I'll open the packages that I got from the various people in the show. Um, so a few things I want to go over. I didn't have any experience with Whatnot before this card show. I knew it existed as a platform. I knew it was primarily a breaking platform, and that there was some ability to buy cards as well. But I didn't really know much about it other than that. One of the first observations I sort of made was that I thought maybe the show itself seems a little bit like a not the show the application itself seems little bit like Carnival Barkers. They're sort of vying for your attention, and for you to uh, go in and buy their stuff, right? Which I guess is fine. It's just my experience at card shows is not that. So right away, it didn't feel like a card show to me. So the basic setup is that there's these rooms you can join right now. I've got this. I'm showing you this on my computer, but I think most people do this from their phones. It's very phone oriented to me. There's the it looks like TikTok kind of, right? You just scroll through the stuff. So the overall setup is you join these rooms, and then in those rooms there's something happening, right? So I think the idea from a card show perspective is that you're joining these rooms and you are these are individual tables, I guess would be an analogy for that. So you can join these individual rooms, and do whatever's in those rooms. There's an overall search functionality. So let's say I wanted to um, get a Frank Thomas SA10 card, right? And so there's certainly some that aren't PSA 10, but there's some cards available, and these are I'd do this part maybe as akin to an eBay search or ComC or something like that, where these cards here are available all the time. So that part also isn't really card showy to me, but that is I think in the overall scheme of things, if I was a seller on here and they said, "Hey, we're having this card show. You can put your items on sale for 10% off or whatever, right? And run a special." I think maybe that's the point of that. So um, that's just kind of a quick overview of what Whatnot is. So I want to talk a little bit about the card show itself. I heard about it on various YouTube channels. That I subscribe to. Some of the bigger ones, Whatnot had asked them to be part of it. Some of them were already sellers on Whatnot, and some of them weren't. Almost all of them, maybe all of them that I can think of, had a specialized link to sign up, and you got a free $10. One of them, Sky B Cards, had a link that you could sign up, and it was free $15. So I obviously grabbed the $15 one, and I'm not really sure why there was a difference, but it worked. It worked just fine. My first purchase, I had $15 off, so it was great. Um, so the other part is I'm going to kind of go back to the it was billed as a card show, and for the most part, I don't think that's really accurate. I think there were certainly some card show elements, and and maybe it's not really possible to do a card show online, but I think overall it would be better not listed as a card show. Maybe I'm not real sure on that part. So for the most part, there were three things that were the main focus. You could participate in a live auction, and I did. I participated in some. I would guess this one here, KK, probably participated in KK consignment during the show. I would guess that's an auction right now. Looks like there's 41 people in there. So if I clicked on that link, I would see them auctioning off cards. And the auctions are usually pretty quick, like 30 to 15 to 30 seconds. So that was interesting. So two, they had the buy it now, which is more of a um, you enter a room and you could see the cards just for that particular store, right? So the search I showed you earlier was everybody's stores. This one would just show you this person's store, and that's different. And I'll explain a little bit later the what I think was the advantage there. And the third is breaks. And I think if you've heard of Whatnot, you think of Whatnot as a breaking platform. I believe it probably is. And there were lots and lots and lots of breaks. And I'm not sure breaks are really card showy at all. Um, but I will explain that a little bit more in a bit. So I want to talk about the live auctions first. So I joined a bunch of the live auctions. I thought they were cool. I didn't, again, it didn't think or didn't feel like a card show that much to me. Um, but for the most part, I also noticed that everything was going for either way more than it should or way less than it should. And I've got a few comments on the way less than it should, and I'll share that a little bit towards the end. So the buy it now, I think that absolutely felt like a card show. So you would go in, and I'm going to use Card Collector 2 as an example here. So I went into Ryan's room, and he had, I don't know, 3,500 things for sale, and he had prices on all of them, right? Just like at a card show, you've got prices on everything, uh, and then you have the ability to make offers. Hey, I want to offer 20% less or whatever, and then you can make offers back and forth. He can accept your offer, he can decline your offer, just like a regular card show. And I thought that was really cool. It was not something that I was expecting, and I found some really good deals. So I thought that was very, very card show like. Maybe even down to the competition of other people there, maybe wanting the same thing you want. Maybe they're offering, I don't know, 35 on a $40 card, and you're offering 36, and you get it. So I thought that was very cool. The last part was the breaks. The breaks are, I am new back to card collecting, and I'm familiar with breaks. I participate in them sometimes. Now that I understand their value to me, and there are limited cases where they're valuable to me. Um, However, I understand that breaks are not for everyone. Absolutely, I understand they are very polarizing in the hobby, and I can absolutely see both sides of how they are good or bad for the hobby. I'm not sure which side of the fence. I probably land right in the middle of the fence, to be honest. It's To me, breaks are advantageous for a few things. One, if there's an expensive product that I don't want to buy a $1,500 box for, and I can get the cards for my team for, whatever, a fraction of that, which is great, especially speaking as like a Blue Jackets fan, right? So up until probably when the Upper Deck Series 2 comes out, Blue Jackets breaks are cheap. They're cheap for the last few years of sets because there wasn't really anybody there, right? So that's great for me. If it's a pick your team break, those are things that I jump right in on. So anyway, that's what I enjoy about breaks. And again, it doesn't feel like a card show at all to me for breaks. And part of that maybe these are just dudes who are breaking every day, um, and they just happen to be breaking during this card show, and it had nothing to do with anything. The only difference there, I think, is they had sort of a center stage. So like you would log into the front page, and there would be, click on card show, whatnot, card show 3, and there would be, a bunch of featured rooms, and many of those were breakers. Now, I did participate in some breaks at the card show. I strategically, will say, bought some really cheap ones. I've got in on some football ones and some baseball ones, and not really teams that I'm, super collecting. They just happen to be cheap, and I was looking for hits, right? Um, so, in all of these rooms, it was really kind of cool because there was a an ability to give things away, and specifically like Card Collector 2, Sky cards, both, and many of the other rooms I was in that I don't remember the names to. I just remember those guys because I also follow them on YouTube. They gave away tons and tons of things. I think Ryan gave away, I don't know, $20,000 worth of cards. There was a Victor Wembanyama. I don't know what it was, Color Blast, something or other. That was like 2 grand, and it was just given away. So you could just enter into the giveaway, and it would randomly draw it, which was super cool. I thought. Um, so I sort of want to close by saying, I think if you think of this as maybe not a card show, maybe as a more of a, I don't know, maybe a Black Friday type thing where things are on sale. um, that's probably going to be your best bet for things like this. It's probably not something that you're going to um, have a card show feel. But again, I don't know if you can have a card show feel online. That's just sort of the way I'm looking at it. The other part that sort of I want to say just sort of made me have not a great taste in my mouth is during many of the auctions and breaks, there was like this overarching theme that when you got a card or a break for cheaper than the guy who was selling it thought it should go for, it was like every one of them tried to make you feel bad about it. Like, oh, I can't believe you got that. That's wow, you guys are gonna have to start bidding these up. I can't believe you got this deal and blah blah blah. And that's again sort of back to the carnival-y type feel, and it sort of made me not want to participate in some things, maybe in the future. So, I don't know. Maybe that's what happens all the time on this platform. But I'm not a guy that goes places to get deals and wants to feel bad about it, right? So, if you're one of those dudes who do that, maybe rethink it. Uh, so that's all to say that this is just the beginning video in the series. I am going to have several more where I open all the things that I bought. I'll go through it. Some of it's cool. Some of it's kind of cool. All of it was deals. I'm not buying anything for more than I thought it should go for, or what I thought it should go for. I underbid and got deals on everything. So hopefully you'll like what I got, and you'll stay tuned. Uh, anyway, thanks a lot for listening, and you go ahead and have a great day. If you're new here, please click subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.